Yeah, here we go. Yep.
There we go. All right. Do it again. Why not do it again? Because why not? Here we go. Ready? We have somebody new. Something always goes wrong. Always goes wrong. So now I know everybody can hear us now.
We're not going to redo the studio. We're just going to go right into the show.
Right? Oh, we're going right into the show because we have all the audio on there. I'm not worried about it, but that was incredible. This happens all the time. Now there's an echo. Don't touch anything, Dina. There we go. That's it. Hands off. There we are. We're good. Better? We should be good. It should be good right now, right? We should be good. It sounds funny.
Well, that was already in before.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the echo was there because my cam was up. I think we should be good now. I need somebody to clarify that before I get into all the shenanigans of today's show. The only mic that's on right now is producer Dina. Yes, we're good to go.
Okay, perfect.
Welcome, everybody. We re-welcome everybody. We have Anthony in here who's just basically texted all his friends like this place is a joke. They can't get nothing done. This is unbelievable. I can't believe how unprofessional these guys are at Chop Sports. But in any event, thanks for tuning in right now. If you're tuning in, please like, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll get into all that first and foremost. But if you want to support Chop Sports, ladies and gentlemen, there's a way to do that in a monetary way. $3. It's all cost, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Anthony, that's part of your internship. You have to donate $3 a month for while you're here. So we're not only not paying you, you're paying us to do what you're doing. But it is patreon.com/Chop Sports. It helps us out each and every month. There are different tiers. There's a $5 tier, a $10 tier. There are different ways to support Chop Sports. You get yourself a discount. I know Lauren, our friend Lauren, used her $25 gift card yesterday, and I think today she used her 10% off because she broke her water bottle, so that she needed a new one.
I did make the coupon codes for everybody that they will be emailed this morning. Now that we have
Anthony
that's
here.
Your first job is going to be to send out the emails to all of the new Patreon members that get their gift card.
Yeah, so that's something that you can support. Morning to my broski. I hope he's feeling good. He had his physical therapy yesterday. I know the morning after that always kind of sucks, but I'm sure he's getting around just dandy. Morning to Ashley. Morning to Scoop.
Ash, I got yours made too. I'll send it to you as soon as the show.
Remember the OG one?
Yeah.
We checked that yesterday. I was like,
yesterday,
oh my
she's
God.
like, oh, my discount code is the best. And she put it in there.
She put it out there.
It actually wasn't active anymore anyway.
I know.
I went in and looked.
Hilarious. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm looking over there like,
that was
oh
funny.
my God.
That was funny.
It was great. But anyway, so yeah, there you go. Where's mine? I guess I missed that. But anyway, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those aren't clickable links or anything like that, but it looks awesome because Chris is a graphics guru. And so if you want to support Chop Sports in a big way, please subscribe. We are 15 away from the small short-term goal of 500 subscribers. Get to 1,000. Now we're talking. We'll get there. And I firmly believe that as we got the playoffs coming up, we got a lot to talk about today. First and foremost, before we get into the game, Chris, I texted you last night.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was going to say something before this.
Can we talk about the Draymond Green?
Yeah, bring back just there we go. Yeah, so there was a thing, and it was brought up to me. I think Kyle brought it up.
No, I think it was AJ dropped it in the group chat yesterday.
Okay.
None of us knew what was going on with
this. This is a big deal. And it has nothing to do if you're watching the show and you're like, oh God, they're talking basketball again. Just stay with us because this is actually,
first of all, chill out. Basketball.
There's a lot of basketball people that don't like basketball, straight up. Like that's the way it is. The way of the world. Basketball has lost its luster over time. Anthony, you're a hockey guy, right? See, we got hockey representation now. We're talking about the best team in the league, the Rangers.
I could guarantee you that several of our listeners that are in this room right now are definitely basketball guys.
Yes, Scoop hosts a basketball podcast, which I hope, Scoop, you're back in studio. Anyway, so the other day, what? Yeah. Well, anyway, the other day, Klay Thompson returned for the Warriors. We talked about that last night or yesterday's show, right? Talked about his minutes. He scores 17 points in 20 minutes, had himself a day, right? Great. But here's the thing. We're all gamblers here. We all like to do the daily stuff, the DraftKings, and obviously we're going to get more into superdraftpro.com eventually. If you want to do daily fantasy, do that. We'll re-promote that another day. But here's the thing. So Draymond Green wanted to start in the game of Klay's return. It's been a long time. He wanted everybody. He basically wanted the band back together, which I can respect that, but he's been hurt. I think he's got a calf or a hamstring or something to that variation where he's missing time. So he suits up, and I'm like, all right. But the rumors were swirling that he was going to be there for tip so they can be registered as a start for all three of them. They did that.
Well,
great.
It's definitely corny.
It's very corny.
I mean, come on. If you're hurt, don't play. But that's besides the point. Getting to here's the actual nuts and bolts of what's going on.
Wow, look at that name that's coming up in the chat. Vumgo. All right, great. So here's what happened. Tip off. Draymond goes over, gets a foul. He's out of the game. He played for 7 seconds. What happened? What is that? Oh, it's all right. Don't worry about it. So 7 seconds he's in the game, right? Everybody that heard this rumor went on to DraftKings. What's the other one? Why? FanDuel, right? All the sports books, the daily fantasy stuff, and like the props, right?
In other words, the public went heavy.
The public went nuts
for
on
Draymond
all
Green.
of his prop unders. And because they knew, I mean, how much damage can he do in 7 seconds or whatever it was going to take? Now the books aren't paying out. They're not paying them out right now.
They're definitely gonna have to pay them out. There's no question about it. How did the public have all this information, but the books didn't? That's first of all, that's alarming. How you guys running
maybe
books?
Draymond texted one of his boys and said, "Yo, I'm suiting up tonight because."
And then his boy texted all of the people that bet, but not the people that take the bets. Didn't get it.
There's a serious trickle down effect that could have happened with that. Yeah, why not?
I mean, we're talking about if the books aren't paying it out, it has to be significant. It has to be a very substantial amount of money
For the books
to be
everybody
like, no,
hammered
this
the
is
unders.
fraudulent. I just don't think that there really is any legality behind it. They didn't pull the spread. They didn't pull it before the game. They should have known. If the public knew, they know things before everybody else does. Typically what happens is you'll see line movement and you'll be like, what happened? Who's out? And there must be, they must know something about Lamar Jackson's ankle that we don't know. That happens all the time. So the books get the information first. The fact that they didn't have that, that's on them. And then, and when I say them, it's like, who are they?
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they play that one out. But also you screwed up a lot of stuff with the fact that you suited up for 7 seconds. You screwed up a lot of stuff. The only basketball action we had last night was that you faded the Knicks, Dina. That was on Kyle's discretion. Kyle told you fade the Knicks, don't bet the Knicks, and the Knicks won by 10. So go New York, go bing bong, and they get themselves another win. We'll not get too deep into the NFL, the NBA, but I do want to touch on last night's big college championship game that went down. Now, Chris, I texted you last night, and for 3 quarters, I literally said, I was like, this is unwatchable. Like this is how no, you said unwatchable. I said, how does anybody compare the pro game to the college game? It is
it's
complete night and day. Like, and I know there's a lot of college heads out there and you love the sport and more power to you, but I just don't think there's an actual comparison to be made between the pro game and the college. What's wrong? The big backgrounds, where is this being recorded? Super Mario World. Yes, actually, it's fun. Anyway, I just
Does
went down my
anybody have
portal.
some mushrooms?
Yeah,
Right. I'll eat some.
If anybody
right
has
now.
mushrooms, it's you, Goosh. But in
No,
any event,
Dave, I haven't taken mushrooms ever in my life.
I haven't either.
No, I really haven't.
I'd be scared. I'm scared to death of all those things. Anything. I smoked weed once in a hotel party and I coughed for 15 hours straight. And I said, this isn't normal. Like, I never want to do this again. And I never did.
Hotel party. Were you on Route 1 in Fords?
No, Route 1 in Edison.
Same shit.
Over at the Howard Johnson Hojo parties all day long. Anyway, so it's Scoop's coming in. I think it's World 1 or 2. Well, listen, this is all part of the master plan here, ladies and gentlemen, because we're actually getting a new desk designed. We're getting all the lighting, and we're going to have a sports desk. We're not going to no longer be legitimate talking heads. We're going to actually have a nice little set. So I think the brick background will do its justice once everything is in place. But right now, yes, we are in level 1 of Mario World. Wish us luck. King Coop is a bitch. Scoop, bust bricks through the roof. Skip. I can't read all these comments. It's distracting. But anyway, back to
So when Kyle comes in to do Lean Friday, he has to dress up as Bowser. he has to wear a Bowser costume and throw fireballs at me. Instead of the bullshit he slings at me.
Do that. We'll save you at the end of the show. Yeah, it'll be fun. Robert Bohannon coming in. Gucci's been telling me Georgia for months. I should have listened, but Gucci did not.
Yeah,
bet
I actually
Georgia.
faded myself, but I didn't bet. I pussied out on both fronts, and I did take the under, and that lost too.
I did bet, and I regret betting because I did fade the sauce last night. So if you guys want to bet and get actual knowledgeable stuff, KyleKerms.com is the place to go for your VIP subscription. Listen, I'm not the biggest college football fan in the world, right? I do, but I think a lot of things do the eye test, meaning I watch the game, and I say, I almost felt like Jimmy Palumbo last night. I was just like, this guy stinks. Like this quarterback of Alabama stinks. He's not NFL ready. There's no way. And then Kyle came. What?
I want to apologize to the poor kid because for like the last 3 times that I've brought him up, I called him Bryce Mitchell.
Is he not Bryce Mitchell?
It's Bryce Young. And I know that. It's just like I always mess that name up.
Mitchell, Young, same thing.
Shit.
I just Danny.
Also, shout out to Ash that's like going to bat for me and my weed habit right now. She's like, guys, he's not a loser. He's just like an anxiety-ridden mess. And he smokes weed because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. You do any drugs on campus? No, I'm kidding.
The mushroom comment, like because of Super Mario World, I was like, oh, I'll eat mushrooms, and then that sent her in a tailspin. So no,
and all of a sudden we get bigger. We're getting just bigger, zoomed in, like, oh, it's time to go. But anyway, so this game in general for 3 quarters. Oh, Danny, that was Danny. I did steal that and I put it on Twitter and got a reaction out of a lot of people. Tell me that Stetson Bennett does not look like a replica of Corey Matthews from Boy Meets World. It is like older Corey Matthews. Like this kid, first of all, the emotion he was throwing on the sidelines makes me like, I appreciate that kind of stuff. Like he's over the hump. Stetson was billed as not being able to do it, and he did it, and Georgia wins the game.
So when you say he did it, you mean like he got carried by his number 1 ranked defense?
Absolutely.
100%. And special teams. And that was Georgia's defense is what won that game. I know this.
They're a bunch of Neanderthals. Like they're huge. They're huge. My man in the middle, 95, I thought was literally pushing 400 pounds. I was like, and then when Kyle said, no, he's tiny, he's only 330. I was like, bro,
yeah. The reason why
you're Anthony's age and he's like 100 pounds soaking wet. That's not true.
I feel like the Georgia front 7 has 5 NFL starters, and I know that
and
Kyle
Bama
said their defense in general has 5, but I feel like they're all coming from the front 7. And whoever number 16 was making plays the entire 4th quarter. I don't know his name.
Danny says somebody was still drunk on Good Morning America. I guess
Corey Matthews.
Yeah, Corey Matthews was drunk.
He's trying to do his best Joe Burrow. There's no one's going to top that. Jackpot Joey with the cigar.
Oh, no, no, not at all. But yeah, so the game itself, again, for 3 quarters, I was like, this is a field goal game. I was like, I can't get into this crap. And then obviously things started to pick up. I do want to shout out Alabama for doing what they did without any of their weapons. Like they lost one guy a couple weeks ago. Then the guy pops his ACL last night, which that's what it looks like.
Wait,
what?
The game was 33-18?
That's what I said. No? Yes.
Oh, my under hit.
You didn't bet the game.
You said you didn't bet.
That's because I said I lost.
You know, it's funny. You said it on the text to me.
Yesterday, I was like,
the under's
slapping right now. And it was 9-6.
Yeah.
And then I came in and
what
I was
the
like,
over
all
under?
my shit got. I said I didn't bet Bama. That's what I said I didn't bet.
So 43-51. What was the over under? 52.
52.5.
Holy shit. So it was only, oh my God, 1.5. Whew, that was
and
close.
That pick 6 when I was
doing pick 6, right. What if somebody had that fit? Oh my God, that would have been brutal. Scott, wow. We played like Scott Mitchell last night. Shout out to Scott Mitchell. Huh?
I'm checking my account.
Oh, Christ. Too many deep. Yeah, that was the main thing I was going to get into was the play calling by Nick Saban in that offense. When you have a chance to get down there and drive, and I know the time is limited and the timeouts are probably not as plentiful, but like, dude, the 4 plays that they called were go routes, Gooch, and I don't understand the mentality there. Like, you're trying to get down the field quickly. I get it, but it's like drop back, 3-step drop, chuck. Drop back, 3-step drop, chuck. I'm like, what are you doing?
It was 3 go routes, but the 3 go routes followed the handoff up the middle with 48 seconds. I don't know how much time there was left, but it was like 1:08 left in the game, and they hand the ball up the middle on 1st and 10. You have to go 60 yards. There's a minute. There's a little over a minute, and these guys are 490 pounds up front. What are you thinking you're going to do there, Bama? I don't understand. How many times Nick Saban could run the ball directly up the middle? I get it.
He was like very set in his ways. Like, it's going to work. It's going to work.
They had some inexperience issues on the outside because they lost the receiver early. But at the end of the day, the same thing that I've been saying all week or all month, Alabama's got receivers that are freshmen that could play.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't trust them.
Kyle does bring up a good point here. He goes, Dave didn't like the elite defensive game, but loved the Hurricane Patriots-Bills game. How? I'll tell you how. There's a significant difference between the college game and the pro game, and even in pre-snap, right? It's like you're playing with kids. It's like, clap when I want you to snap the ball.
Yeah,
why? Because it's loud? I mean, then you can time the
those
count.
Are the types
There's
of
no
things.
fake
Those
claps.
are the types of things that I really don't care about.
Hold on, and Scoop hit me up. I think it was the first quarter. My man on the defense got 5 yards for clapping. Linebacker was doing this.
Was it before the snap?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's illegal.
What? Not even what? Why?
I mean, yeah, they call that in the NFL sometimes,
No,
but
they don't.
But guys aren't clapping pre-snap. Go ahead, watch it. Show me when
Show
their
me
guys
when
they're
show me
clapping
that they're
and
not
trying.
making any noise.
No, you're allowed to make noise. You're allowed to make calls. But if you try and mimic the cadence, in any way,
So I can understand if you're a linebacker in the NFL and you go hut, right? Then you can get flagged. So because these clowns are clapping,
I don't think that really has anything to do with college game or pro game. I think that's just universal. You can't mimic the cadence. If their cadence is a clap to get the snap, then the defense can't clap to mimic that.
That is so ridiculous.
I mean, that's
you
like
can't
that's
clap.
that's
what if
as
I gotta
bush
get the
league as it
attention of
gets,
my defensive lineman? Shift. You're not shift. Yo, shift.
So you're
now I can't clap.
So you're telling me that you clap in a game if you can't get somebody's attention, like clapping is going to get it? Maybe just say their name. Hey.
If you can't hear, you're trying to get
Smith.
dude. That's a very you've never clapped to get somebody's attention.
Not
or snapped when you're somebody close.
Not if I'm like playing safety.
I got flagged 5 yards for clapping, and I was
anyway.
Like, that's a huge thing.
I
for
think
me.
the problem with watching the college game is more or less the talent level of the quarterbacks. Forget everything else, because all the other guys, the receivers are fun to watch. The defenses clearly yesterday were talented. That was like watching pro defenses play. But the problem was it was like watching pro defenses play against the Jaguars in week 8. You know, like the offenses couldn't do anything. And I'm not even trying. You could pick your team. Jets, Giants last week. The point that I'm making is the NFL quarterbacks could make reads. They could go through the progressions, first read, second read, third read, then you tuck it and run. College football, it's like one read. If it's not there, you might go a second read.
You saw that on the last drive.
And
there was one read down the field.
In this game, even more so, there was no reads because the pressure was there immediately. So I don't think that the clapping, I didn't even see that one, honestly. I was probably not.
It blew me away.
I was probably still recording Jimmy's podcast at that point, but
it blew me away because like I said, I'm watching the game, flag on a play, and I was like, oh, what did he jump? What did he jump? And the guy was like, he's even like the description of the penalty called by the ref. I was like, and I'm looking, of course, I'm by myself. So I was like, I'm looking around like, that's a thing, everybody? Is that a thing? I don't know. And then I'm talking to Scoop, and Scoop's like on text. He's like, did he just get flagged for clapping? I was like, I think so. Like, that was, I don't know, man. Again, clapping as a cadence, that's just, it shows an experience. And I get it. Yes, they're college kids, so they're not as experienced as the NFL, but like to sit there and like, if you're a defensive lineman, all you got to do is listen for the clap.
You also don't know. You also don't know if he did it 2 plays in a row before that, and the ref went up to him and said, "Hey, don't do that anymore." And then he did it again. So it could be a bunch of different things.
But that's a hypothetical. But I'm just saying, overall, I just think the whole thing was just, I don't know, it was weird. But yes, so the Georgia Bulldogs
Robert Bohannon coming in and saying one of the first losses Saban looked to be okay with at the end, to be honest. Well, I think that was
he's
because
so checked out.
I don't know that he's checked out. I think that
the Georgia coach coached under Saban for like 10 years. So they're buddies, right? So like if he's going to lose to anybody, it better be one of his cast-offs or one of his coaching tree guys.
I could see that. But if you even heard Saban before halftime when he was talking about how he knew that they were up against it, even though they did go into halftime with the lead, just the fact that they lost the receiver, and there was a lot of young guys in big spots for Alabama yesterday. Did they have guys that didn't play because of the draft?
I don't
think so. I think that would have made bigger news. I mean,
and Bohannon, this is your boy you work with?
Yeah.
Okay. He's asking if I've ever played organized football, that you can't even do the clapping and the cadence in Pee Wee. Here's the thing. I would never think to do that. As a defense, I've never played defense. If that's your question, I've never played defense where I had to guess the cadence. I was always a center, or a tight end, or somebody on the line. Like I had to listen to my quarterback. It's on 2. Okay, I'll wait for the second hut. Like that's all I knew. I'm not going to sit there and mess with the cadence.
Here's the thing, too. It's even more so when you have crowd noise, and like the only way to get the snap count is the clapper. The center can't hear.
Just said, say his name.
Hey.
So I said, yes, clapping will get his attention. Are you going to
shout the center's name and be like, hey, Philip, snap it now?
Well, it's so funny because when I was watching the Cowboys game, I guess, the Eagles fans weren't as into it. So you heard a lot of the on the field stuff, right? And Dak, like CD was in motion, and then he's like, CD 52, like that's the guy you're gonna go block. Like you're literally yelling at him, and I'm like, wow, is he actually directing traffic at the line like that? So verbally, so specifically, like I'm sure you can. He said Michelob Light 2 weeks ago, and I was like, whatever that is.
Wait, mic'd up? They pick a guy out for every game.
But it's just so risky. You can't do it in a live broadcast. You would have to do it in the post edit.
Oh no! You can't just have somebody.
Yeah, because these guys
they do mic them up. They do mic them up, and after the end of the first quarter, you might see like a quick 10-second clip of a guy mic'd up during that game. But you're not.
Scoop said he's clapped constantly on defense.
And then Scoop also said he was a good cornerback, and then he got fucking roasted.
And then you can check out that video on our YouTube right now. If you're watching this, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video in specific. It helps with the search. Yesterday's show was absolute great as far as downloads and views and people searching for it, and it was great. So thank you guys for that. Georgia, Kyle comes in. Georgia was better team.
When you say clapped, you mean get clapped? Like you guys were getting clapped in high school and they never called penalties?
Man, like I said, when that happened last night, I was like, what? Like maybe that was the first time I've ever heard the penalty called. Maybe that has to be it, because when I was like, it was like a foreign language for me. I was like, wait, what did he just say? So anyway, Kyle coming in. Georgia was the better team all year. Got to remember the Bulldogs didn't have much to play for in the SEC championship. Bama's season was on the line. In that game, you're right, because if Bama didn't win that game, the playoff seedings would have been all messed up.
Yeah, the point spread was indicative of that as well, because watching the game,
not comedy.
Comedy. So what was I saying?
The point spread.
Oh, right. Yeah. So the point spread was 2.5, and Georgia got spanked by them 3 weeks prior. So obviously the books knew. They just didn't know that Draymond Green wasn't playing, but they did know that Georgia was the team to beat, and they were the best team all year.
Matt Bartinko coming in, my boy Matt. What is it? I know the word. I couldn't see it. Signals penalties whenever the refs deem that a defensive player was mimicking the offensive signals. This includes trying to mimic the snap count. Yes, fine. The rule is the rule. It's in the rule books for college, pros, peewees. Great. That was last night. Was the first time I ever heard it, ever called. I'm sure it's understood at the coin toss. You know what I mean? Like when these guys are getting into the game. Make sure you don't mimic no shit.
What are the chances that you're going to see that this weekend in the NFL now? This 100%. Is how things work.
1,000% yes. Yes, that's 1,000% accurate. That's what's going to happen.
And it's going to be DeMarcus Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
5-yard penalty.
Bing bong. There he goes. But yeah, so yeah, it is a rule. I'm not saying I didn't know the rule book. I just never heard it called. And to me, I don't think it should be a penalty
at
all.
It's like the football equivalent of A-Rod shouting, got it, as he's rounding third base.
See, but that's not a rule. It's not a written rule. They don't call A-Rod out.
They don't have flags on the play in baseball. So if
but you can call him out or throw somebody out.
And they did.
What?
He was called out.
Before that?
After that, they called him out.
Really?
99% sure that A-Rod got called out on that play.
I don't know about that. He got called out on the whole just like trying to slap the ball out of the guy's.
Those are the things that made me love A-Rod, by the way.
You just think I was more hustle than
anything
anything
how
else?
I am. I'm like, look for the edge any way you could get it.
Lunch is canceled today due to the lack of hustle.
I don't care about people that take steroids. Like, it's not, if you're not fighting or playing football, juice. Hit baseballs over the fence? Absolutely. Take that shot, boy. Get the jab every day in your butt.
Now Philip. That's great. Anyway, so let's get away from college, go to some real football, and we're talking about the NFL playoffs as we get ready for that. There is your updated and official bracket. That Super Bowl trophy looks so good when it's going to be in the offices, the front offices of Dallas. But anyway, we all see the matchups here. We'll go over them individually as we go. But the Titans and the Packers are their 1 seeds. The lovely this is why I don't make, I should learn how to make better graphics, because then I can make my own.
Yeah, you see him waiting there.
Yeah,
for you.
Aaron Rodgers is waiting. Win your games, Dave. Yeah, I get it.
He's waiting in the NFC Championship because we're winning next week.
Okay, but in any event, the matchups in the NFC, we went over this yet. Well, starting the AFC, why not? The Patriots and the Bills have themselves a rematch of 2 times. They played twice. One was the Hurricane game. One just happened, right? Right?
Yeah,
this past weekend.
No, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay,
week 17.
So again, we'll pick these games on Friday as it gets closer. The spreads are. I know me and Gooch are done as far
week
as
16.
Okay, we're done with the whole whatchamacallit. Toast is in the house. Good morning, Toast. Whatchamacallit. I lost my train of thought. Oh no,
Bills Patriots.
Bills Patriots. So they've played already twice. We'll do our official picks on Friday. We obviously open invite to Kyle to come on in here, do some Lean Friday playoff edition coming in this week if he wants. But with this game in particular, the way I see it is that it's Bill Belichick and it's Mac Jones. Can they get it going? This one's going to be in Orchard Park. We don't know the weather's going to be right this second. That thing changes every second, right? But one of the hotter teams going into this playoffs is the Buffalo Bills. Like, Josh Allen is running all over the place. representing the running game of the Bills. And even Singletary showed me a little something last week, and he did his work. And I know it was against the Jets, so that's a grain of salt. But I don't know, man. The Bills seem to be a little bit more of the hotter team. The New England Patriots couldn't get it done against Miami, right? So they're backing in. They're using the beep beep sound, right? They're into the playoffs. Again, I'm not going to give my leans, but something to watch for in this game in particular, as far as I'm concerned, is the momentum thing. Like the fact that the Patriots lost their last game and the fact that the Bills starched the Jets. I feel like this. If I had a lean today, I would say the Bills are going to probably get this one done.
I'm not going to make my pick, but
no.
It's just in this situation, you're looking at a Mac Jones that has struggled mightily to throw the football in the last 6 weeks of the season. He's had a couple moments where he's shown he can still throw, but the Patriots as a team, the team as a whole, they're not really able to win a shootout. You know, you saw the Miami game, they really weren't able to keep up with even the Dolphins. I think that there's going to be a situation in the fourth quarter where you're going to see the Patriots down and they're going to have to rely on Mac Jones. And as good as he's been all year, I don't think he's the rookie of the year anymore. But as good as he's been all season long, they've lost 3 of the last 4. We're talking about backing into the playoffs. The Patriots are certainly backing into the playoffs. And while I'm not going to count Belichick out, it's just going into Buffalo right now. Buffalo's, you're right. They're one of the hotter teams in the AFC. They're coming off 3 straight wins, I believe, maybe 4. I think it's definitely 3.
Two things to follow to boot that. Tomorrow on the show, we do have a a panel of experts. When I say experts, it's Scoop, AJ, Kyle, Toast, myself, and Gooch. So that's 6 of us. We'll be voting for the first ever Chop Sports Football End of the Year Award. So you're going to get your MVP, you're going to get your offensive player, defensive player, rookie, offensive rookie, defensive rookie, coach of the year. So those players will be voting on them today. We'll tally all them up. We'll reveal who won the Chop Sports. Now, what do they get? If they want to open up their DMs, we'll get them some discounted merch. So that's fine. We can slide in there and give the MVP some DMs and some discount codes. So in any event, so that'll go down tomorrow. But also, Gooch, right before the show, you pulled up. Now that we're going over some of the matchups that his first
You're
day.
good.
Fired.
It's actually still good.
I'll just move it on over. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so
matchups.
Odds. Oh, the odds. So you looked them up pre-show. The Bills right now and the Patriots. What are their odds right now to win the Super Bowl going in?
Right now, the Bills are at plus 750, and the Patriots, all the way down there at plus 2200.
Okay, so obviously Vegas likes the Bills to more than likely get out of this game. If they have better odds to win the Super Bowl, then clearly they're gonna have them winning this game as well. All right, so the other matchups, I believe kicking us off this weekend is the Raiders and the Bengals. Unfortunately, like as much as I've rooted for the Raiders, this matchup is not very kind to them. The Bengals offense has clicked a lot and often. It's just one of those things. Joey B didn't even play last week. And now Burrow's back off of another week's rest. Jamar Chase is a handful. That entire trio of receivers are a handful. Mixon, for whatever reason, didn't get hurt this year, which I usually think he does every year. And I just think the Raiders, I don't know. It's been a great story, but I think it ends. I don't know.
Obviously, we're not going to make picks.
Yeah, I'm trying not to while breaking down.
I've looked at the Raiders all year, and early on, I was kind of high on the Raiders because they surprised me. And then I lost a little bit of money on them midway through, and then I lost all faith. And as I lost all faith, they managed to win 4 in a row to finish the season and get into the playoffs. As we talked about hot teams, the Raiders are one of the hottest teams in football right now.
They did ruin my Thanksgiving.
And, I don't think it's a great matchup in terms of overall. I think the Bengals are the better team. So clearly they're outmatched in that regard. But the Raiders do play the pass well. And that's what the Bengals do best, is throw the football. So if there is a matchup that the Raiders could hang their hat on, it is that. Joe Burrow, though, I just think in his first playoff game, you're going to see something special.
It's going to be hype. There's going to be a lot of hype.
When I look at the odds, obviously, where I'm leaning towards. I think Green Bay is going to win the Super Bowl. They're plus 400. That's the favorite. But looking at the Bengals at plus 2,000, that's kind of it might be a waste of money to win the Super Bowl. Plus 2,000. If you're looking at all the teams that are in that bottom half of teams, you're looking at like the Bengals, anything above plus 2,000, the Bengals are clearly the best shot at it. And just Joe Burrow, Jackpot Joey, it's tough to count him out when championships are on the line because all he does is win. And I know that
that was a DJ Khaled reference,
it's
by the way.
far-fetched to think that the Bengals could do it. especially when they got the Tom Brady's out there, the Aaron Rodgers out there, the Patrick Mahomes out there. But if there was a guy in football right now that's going to enter his name into that list of guys that you expect to be there every year, it's Joe Burrow. So at this point, the unknown about him in the playoffs is what's he going to do in the postseason. What we've seen out of him in his career as a kid all the way on up till now was that he wins big games. So I'm not going to bet against Joe Burrow.
And what was the other AFC matchup? We have
it was the Chiefs and
Chiefs and the Steelers. So again, one of those stories where it's been great to watch the Steelers limp into the playoffs, almost not make the playoffs via ties. Like, it's been a mess for them to even get there. I know the spread's got to be high. It's probably up in like the 10-11 range. I would assume it's in Kansas City, so it's at Arrowhead. I mean, this one, it doesn't pose well. The Steelers defense is good, and I think Watt has had himself a defensive player of the year type caliber season with the record being tied this year in particular. But I don't know, man. It's just the Steelers offense is like inept, I think, when it comes to Big Ben. Like, Big Ben only throws like 3-yard outs. There's not a lot of shots taken down the field. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs will just kind of hang back and watch it develop because he's not going to stretch the field. He's not going to put any air on it.
I look at the Chiefs the last 2 weeks as very similar to like the Spurs in the NBA over the last 15 years, where they're just waiting for the postseason, kind of how the Lakers were 2 years ago, just waiting to get to the postseason. They realize that they're the team to beat in the AFC right now. They did have a stumble against Cincinnati, but that's probably what I'm looking at as a possible AFC championship matchup. I don't know if that could actually play out. Actually, it definitely can, because the Bengals are the 4 seed.
Yes. It might be 3.
Either way. Hopefully,
I mean, we had the bracket up.
Burrow matchup in the AFC Championship. Sorry, Dina, I know you're not really pulling for that one, but I don't know, man. I just think the Chiefs, they're too good. The Steelers, while the Chiefs defense doesn't stop the run, and that's the only chance Pittsburgh has, let's be honest, they don't have the firepower to keep up with the Chiefs.
Big Ben against the Browns, according to Kyle Kerms, in Week 17, averaged 2.7 yards per pass attempt. It's the second lowest in NFL history. That's what I said. 3-yard out. So I actually was giving him too much credit. Yeah, right. Right. He doesn't really need to be on the field, according. You can have, half the receivers throw a 2-yard out. You know what I mean? Like, Ben Roethlisberger, it's a great story that he got here. Congratulations to Ben. I just think the luck has run out. The 10.5 spread, my brother came in with the spread itself. It doesn't even, for me, it's not even intriguing. Usually when those spreads are high, I'm like, I can ride with the dog. But this one just seems like it's got blowout written all over it. We'll see. Switching over to the NFC, obviously, the Green Bay Packers are plus 400 to win the Super Bowl. They got the number 1 seed. All roads go through Green Bay. We know this. We're aware of this. If you didn't know this, just tune into any other show ever, and Gooch will let you know that they're the best team in football. And there's the graphic again. Thank you very much. Win your games, Dave. So, obviously, the first matchup we're going to see is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. As far as the NFC front goes, I believe, that one goes down on Sunday afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. So is there 2 AFC games? Yeah, 2 AFC games on Saturday. So Sunday afternoon, the Eagles play the Bucs. Now, I saw somebody post last night in Chop Sports, because we are a forum after all. So if you want to go post in Chop Sports for heavily debated sports topics, do that. And yesterday somebody said a healthy Eagles team, all healthy, Jalen Hurts rocking, Smith on the outside, Rager stinks, whatever.
That's my brother-in-law's son-in-law. My brother-in-law's son-in-law, and he was sitting next to me when he made that post.
And all I did was do the laugh emoji because he thinks that the Eagles could take out the Bucs.
He's an Eagles fan. So
then that's that. Dude, how many Eagles fans are in your, like, I think it's, what's this guy too? The Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's all over the place. Not my brother. He's obviously not an Eagles fan. But, mistake, 12.5. So, yeah, I still don't feel confident with that one. But in any event, so the Eagles in health, Gooch, can they derail the Tampa Bay Bradyneers here? Like, is that a thing? Do you think that can actually happen?
I do think that can happen. I think the NFC is a lot more up for grabs in the first round than the AFC is. Right. And I know that that's not really going to sit well with you, but we talked about the matchup we're not going to talk about that game just yet, but we'll get into it in a second. Yeah. I mean, Tampa Bay is really struggling right now. They got shut out a couple weeks ago to not a really good Saints team. Philly, while they have clear holes on both sides of the football, they do stop the pass well, and they could dominate up front on both sides depending on which team shows up that day. I do like their head coach. I know we've been giving him you particularly were giving him a hard time before the season started.
Sirianni?
I think that he kind of
clown.
You say clown, I say playoff coach.
I say wear a beat Dallas t-shirt to your first press conference in the Dallas
Oh,
rivalry.
all right. What do you
and
want
get
the guy to
starched.
do? All right. That's irrelevant.
Name another head coach that would do that.
I don't care. Talk
Because
about
he's a
his
clown.
X's and O's.
Okay.
I don't know the guy. Listening to his first press conference, he looked like a clown, sounded like a clown. But at the end of the day, I think
Well,
he's a
guess
decent,
what, ladies and gentlemen? If
I'm
you look like
talking
one.
about does he have a control of his locker room? Do his players like playing for him? Do they play hard for him? I think the answer to all three of those questions are yes. So I think that he has potential because he's what, 35?
He's young.
36 years old. He's got some learning to do. Maybe that was his first learning experience, right?
Dude,
Dallas dropped
note to
100
self. Shout out
Dallas
to
dropped
Norm
100
McDonald.
points on him. But at the end of the day, it adds fuel to the rivalry. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, right? Let's just
Yeah, but you
That's good
wouldn't
stuff.
But you know what though? You wouldn't see it. You would actually cringe if your coach wore it. You would. You would. That's like McCarthy saying "beat the Niners" on a big ass 8X T-shirt.
I think that I think hindsight is always 20/20. I would cringe if we ended up getting, beat by 40 points in the game. But if we end up winning,
You'll buy the shirt.
Then I'd buy the shirt. So yeah,
Right.
it goes two ways on
God.
that one.
But in any event, so you think the Eagles have a somewhat of a chance?
I do.
The only thing I could say about the Eagles right now is that yes, Jalen Hurts probably will cause some kind of fits for the Eagles. I mean the Bucs defense chasing them around a little bit.
Shaq Barrett's done.
Yeah,
I think
so
he's out for the playoffs.
So and I think if any team is limping into the playoffs, it's the Bucs. There's a lot of banged up injuries, but at the end of the day, listen, Anthony, you're not even a football guy, but you know something about Tom Brady, right? You know who Tom Brady is? Yeah, you know Tom Brady. Guess what? What doesn't he do?
Be careful, Dave, because you
What
might be
doesn't
playing
Tom
Tom
Brady
Brady
do?
next week, and you might have to tell yourself the same
Doesn't
thing.
lose. Tom Brady doesn't lose.
Careful.
Get off this one. The Eagles, thanks for coming. I'll pick the game on Friday, but whatever. There's also another game going down on Sunday afternoon.
Keep that same energy in the divisional round.
I will. When Dallas has to go and almost beat Tampa again, there won't be any moral victories again if we get this one done.
Fair enough.
The Dallas Cowboys travel. They get back home as the 3 seed to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle coming in. If McCarthy took a field rocking Nuck the Finers shirt, it would actually be the first time I ever respected him. Okay, well that's you, and I can't get behind that, but it's funny, yes, but no. Anyway, so the Cowboys and the 49ers go down on Sunday, 4:30. As now I'm one day digested of this. I talked to a lot of my Cowboys people, not just fans, like people within the media. A lot of people are feeling good about this specific matchup because of the fact that Jimmy G hasn't thrown for 300 yards, not once this season, right? He's thrown multiple interceptions, had multiple interception games. Like Jimmy G is not going to be the reason why the 49ers can compete in this game. It's their running game. Eli Mitchell is great. Hasty's shown flashes of good. The running game itself, and I include Deebo Samuel in the 49ers running game because if he's in the backfield, guess what, folks? Jet sweep coming right up. You know what I mean? Like that's going to happen. So it's up to the Cowboys to be confident in stopping and eliminating source after source. Meaning, if you got Parsons kind of watching, Deebo in the backfield, right? That means Parsons can't watch Kittle, and then you have the new guy who went off for like 200 yards last week.
If I was Dallas, I would have Parsons wreaking havoc on Jimmy G.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Even care about the rest.
And look, and you give it up to the Dallas defensive line, which are good. Gregory, Lawrence, even their guys on the interior, they're better than they've ever been. So they're going to give Jimmy G fits. Don't get me wrong. But again, Jimmy G does have a quick release. And if you get the ball in space to a guy like Kittle or a guy like Deebo, they're going to give you a headache. And again, that's my opinion right now. There's no cakewalk involved. I've had people say the Cowboys are going to blow them out.
No.
And that's people that are in the know. And
I
I'm
think
just
it's going to be a really good game, one way or the other. I don't think that anyone's getting blown out in this one. The 49ers run the ball really well. It's tough to blow a team out that's very committed to the run game unless you do it early and there's a turnover. That could happen, and then you could see things get out of hand because I don't think the 49ers are really a team that's in position to come down from multiple scores.
Do you believe in the theory that the Niners just emptied the clip just to get to the playoffs?
No, I do not. I think that if anything, we're all talking about momentum. Emptied what clip? That game that
took them all the way to overtime. Almost, get out of there with a win.
I watched the Packers need, and just to bring it from a personal experience standpoint, in the year that we won the Super Bowl, we were 6-6. We were not a playoff team. We went 10 and finished 10-6, and then so we emptied the clip just to get there. We needed help. We needed all of it, and then you get there, and it's a fresh season. I think the 49ers have new life because their season's now the playoffs. Like everything else that happened up to this point, you could throw it away.
The 49ers were slated to make the playoffs, so don't think that they won a tiebreaker at the very end. Like They were already in. All they had to do was win. It was a win and stay.
You want to talk about emptying the clip? The Steelers emptied the clip because they didn't have many bullets in the chamber to begin with.
Very true.
And you're looking at the Big Ben thing where he's averaging 2.7 yards per pass attempt. They're stumbling in, but you got to understand Pittsburgh's obviously banged up. Their quarterback's really old. It's a good story, but the 49ers are not that team right now. They're a decent team. I feel like going into the year, everybody looked at them as a clear playoff team.
Yeah,
and now they're
so
here.
did I.
Now they're here, right? So a clear playoff team in the playoffs. I don't think it's a gimme game for Dallas by any stretch, but I do think Dallas should win the game.
I saw one over under of like toast. No, toast just came in and said Cowboys, baby. Over under on rush attempts out of Trey Lance was like 4. And I think that they will have packages for Trey Lance to come in and change the game up a little bit, i.e. what the Raiders were just doing when they bring in Mariota and he starts running all over the place. Trey Lance is an athlete. That's another guy you got to account for. The 49ers are stacked
with talent. The big X factor here is Mitchell. If he's running the ball well,
and if the Cowboys play the run like they did against the backups of Philadelphia, then we're in for.
I wouldn't hang my hat on that because the defense wasn't really trying to make a hit from the second level when you're.
And Parsons was out,
points.
and Curse was out. Yeah, they had a lot of guys out, but again, the Cowboys are in a position right now where they want to be. They have home field right now, and next week, based on what happens, you never know. You can get home field again. You don't know. It could be a thing. What?
Only if Philly wins.
Correct. And you say they have a chance. So then that's a possibility. The Cowboys could be home 2 in a row. Then anyway, yeah, Toast, his was some bets there, Toast. Why not? We'll share them on the show right here if you want. But in any event, so that's that game. And then obviously Monday Night Football for the first time ever, super wild card weekend. You got the Rams and the Cardinals who have seen each other twice. Again, the Rams were the darlings by the books forever. Everybody wanted to jump all over the Rams. You're adding Von Miller. You're adding Odell Beckham. You're doing all this thing. You still have Matt Stafford, who's never won a playoff game in his life. So you got to be careful with that. And I'm not knocking them. That's stats. I'm just backing that up. But the Cardinals are coming in now. They're also coming off a loss. So both of these teams are coming off a loss in which, Kyler Murray and company are getting a little healthier. I want to say they're going to compete in this one, but the game is in LA. That's why I kind of side and lean right now. I'll obviously make the pick Friday, but the Rams are probably overall the better team here. But there's a lot of playmakers on Arizona, man, that could really, really watch. They could really, really do some damage if they go on a run. That's what I think. I
think that this is the premier game in the NFC this week. Obviously.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah, maybe in the whole playoffs. Outside of maybe the Bills Patriots, but I think that game could potentially be boring. So this game is going to be exciting. The NFC West the last couple of weeks have been great all season long. Really, I think it's arguably the best division in football because when you got a team like Seattle,
we said that from jump.
We said that from jump, but I don't think it maintained that throughout the year because
Seattle was bumming.
And like San Fran was middle of the road. Even the Rams had their hiccups, which is crazy to me when you look at what the Rams have done this year. I think that they lost all their games in like a 3-week stretch.
I was just saying they went 13.
They lost 4 games in 3 weeks. Somehow that happened.
Insane, right?
Did they go 12-5?
12-5. Sorry.
Yeah, 12-5. But
13.
Either way, they've lost to the Rams. I mean, the Rams have lost to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals have lost to the Rams in convincing fashion each. So we have no idea how this game is going to go.
I would ask you, but I already know the answer, and Scoop brings it up. There is a playoff edition Manning cast. Would you be interested?
No.
Okay, well, I might be. Because I cannot do another game with Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Brian Greasy. Can't do it. Won't do it. There's no way. First of all, I can't tell the two apart. And I told my brother this, and he got it wrong multiple times when we're watching the Cowboys telecast. I'm like, who's talking right now? He's like, oh, that's Riddick. I'm like, nope, that's Greasy. And then like the next one, we're like, oh, that's Greasy. No, that's Riddick. Like you can't even tell the two apart. Steve Levy is old and past his prime anyway. So that broadcast sucks. And of course the Manning cast, we'll see what kind of guests they pull together for our playoff game. But I think whoever goes on, it better not be
an active member of the playoffs.
Because according to, this is just a stat. If you go on the Manning cast, you lose the next week.
7 out of 7.
0-7 after the Manning cast. So that's a thing. So hopefully Aaron Rodgers decides to visit the Manning cast just one more time, and he'll give his predictions and his play and all his critiques and all this other stuff. And then that bum can lose in the second round. And I only say bum because, that's what he was referring to, the other person. What was that there, Gina? Vot's back. Okay, Vot. And Anthony, just so you know, Vot is apparently it's a fake account. It's like a spammer thing, and they just comment like random Dave, symbols.
You watching the Cowboys on Nickelodeon?
Am I watching the Cowboys on Nickelodeon? What I'll do is this. Obviously, I'm going to be watching it with my dad and my brother at my dad's house. If there's a touchdown scored, maybe I'll flip over real quick just to see the slime. I'm kidding. I would never watch a playoff game on Nickelodeon. I do know it's available on Nickelodeon this week. They are the time, whatever the hell.
So
it's bad.
Toast
It's so
is giving
bad.
out his picks, but I
Oh.
think that's against Rutgers, no? So I don't think that we could bet that here.
We can't bet that here, Toast. Let's try again.
If there's any non-New Jersey natives that are out here or watching this show, then Penn State -3, fade the Scarlet.
And
Knights.
he's got some reasoning behind his folks. Penn State has been playing really well the last month. They have lost to Ohio State, Michigan State, Miami, Purdue, I almost said whore, all going to the tournament. I love Rutgers, but I can't say the same. So yeah, so if you can't go to New York right now, go pay the $13 outer bridge right now. And how much it cost you in tolls, by the way? It wasn't counting that much. We'll get you back for the toll money. But in any event, Steve Proper coming in, enjoying it, boys. Dave, we're going to be all right Sunday. Let's go. Hey, listen, man, I really hope so too. I think people are on me on Twitter right now because I'm emotionally scarred. This team has left me in shambles year after year after year. And like I said to you yesterday, at this time for the last 2 years, I was already like, who do I like to see in the playoffs? Who's going to win this playoff? I wasn't involved. I had no dog, no pony in the race.
To the book that I'm going to write one day, and it's how each fan should outlook their fanhood or go about their fanhood. I have to think of a better title.
But good, good working title. I understand,
yes.
But like, what your theory is saying, you should be confident with your team all the time, like
every team, based on how the team has treated your fanhood over the course of your fanhood, is how you should approach it. Like me, I should be cautiously optimistic, but very confident that we're going to lose the NFC Championship. You get what I'm saying? So like, you got to have like, have some truth to it, but then also some fun. You're done this week. I have no idea why you even.
You should be cautiously rooting for the Cowboys and the Packers to do well for this place to not explode.
Dave, your expectation, this is not you per se, this is Cowboys fans in general. Like, Cowboys fans are in for such a major letdown this year because 9 out of 10 of them firmly do believe that the minute that they sniff the playoffs, that it's their year, right? Now, every team kind of thinks
there's
that.
a lot. The Cowboys fan base is weird. It's like there are a lot of those that come out of the woodwork every year and say, this is the year, right? Like there is. And then you got the starter pack memes that you got the jean shorts and the fade and the Jordans and the Zeke jersey. I've seen all the memes, bro. And for me, I've been burned so many times. My brother and my father have watched me melt down. I mimicked things that happened. Like when Dez caught, by the way, oh shit, I remiss. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the anniversary of the Dez caught it today, by the way. So in any event.
I don't know why you said, all right, whatever.
Because
you can have it. That's fine. I don't care. That's one of the things that the Packers fans have let go at this point.
Because you won the damn game, jerk.
That's a Cowboys thing. You could have it. Dez didn't.
You let it go because you won the game.
I know. And honestly, I feel upset about that moment, to be honest. I wish that they would have given it to fucking Dez, because then we would have gotten another vintage Aaron Rodgers moment, because there was still like 2 minutes to go.
They let you down too.
I agree.
It did affect everyone. It changed the game. It changed the way we look at the catch overall. Like, nobody even knows what a catch is anymore at this point. I honestly thought one of the catches last night was no good from one of the touchdown catches that Bama had. And I was like, no, that Georgia had, the long deep ball. I was like, the ball's juggled. That's not a catch. And then I'm like, they're already kicking the extra point. I'm like, what the
weak attempt at trolling me again with the second day in a row. He said the same thing.
And
nobody even believes that, except for not even you, honestly. And based on your comments on Friday, if I was a fan of a team and I firmly believe that the other team that I'm talking about has the worst defense in football, I wouldn't be like anything but going there. I wouldn't be like, anything to avoid playing that team. And that's what Kyle said on Friday. He would do anything. He said he would literally do anything.
You know what's crazy?
Avoid playing the Packers in Lambeau.
But what's crazy is that Kyle, his fanhood is different than mine, because obviously he's very knee deep in what he does as a profession, and I think he's more analytical and stuff, and like those guys have to be, right? I'm sure when he's capping those games, he's got spreadsheets galore and all this other crap, right? So he's doing it like that. For me, it's weird. Kyle doesn't want to see the Packers. I think that for the Cowboys to have the magical season that I envision and dream that they would have, is that they get it done in Lambeau, right? That's what I want. I want that. And the only way that happens this year is the NFC Championship game, in which I don't know what this place is going to be like. So, Anthony, I know you just started, but if the Cowboys and the Packers meet in the NFC Championship game, this place is going to go absolutely
You're going to be rooting
nuts.
hard for whoever plays the Packers. If you guys win against San Fran Sunday, you're going to be rooting hard. Don't act like you actually want that.
Of course, because
game.
I would get a home game. I would get an NFC Championship home game. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying, for the magic and the story of it, everybody's got a story. The goddamn Giants in 2007 had a story. They beat Tampa. They beat Brett Favre. They beat all these other teams. They go on the road and then they win. They beat Dallas. I was there, was working for the team at the time, so I remember it vividly. Then they beat Green Bay, and you see the rosy cheeks. And
this is a guy, ladies and gentlemen, that was terrified to play Philly in the first round.
I wasn't terrified. I said I didn't want to play him. I mean, it's not terrifying.
No, I'm piggybacking off of Scoop's comment, and he's saying that. I'll bring it up again. Dave, this is the opposite take you had with the Yankees when Gooch said he wants the Red Sox.
Oh, so but no. That's different because that rivalry is a legitimate rivalry. The Cowboys and the Packers don't have a legitimate rivalry. They have a lot of historic games, the Ice Bowl, right? And then you got the 90s, and then you got, the Rodgers stuff and the Romo stuff. And and then Dak went into Lambeau in his rookie year and won that game. You know what I mean? So
I love how he says that, but he leaves out the most important part, that we ended their season in the playoffs that same season.
Okay, did I just say Lambeau? I said
Stop.
Lambeau. I wasn't going.
Don't
know
sit
how
here
these things end, bro.
Don't
I
sit
was
here
there
and talk about the storied rivalry and bring up Romo and Dak beating the Packers.
All I said, listen to me when I talk, okay, is all I said was that there's no rivalry. It's historic games. And yes, the Packers have beat us plenty of times. They've ripped my heart out plenty of times. So that's why I want it to be so mother effing poetic to beat Aaron Rodgers this year in particular. Why? Because big old Mike McCarthy could go back and beat his old team after they wronged his ass on Christmas. Oh,
I'm going to paint a picture for you, and this is what you're going to see in a couple weeks. You're going to see a arrogant smile on Aaron Rodgers' face on the sideline as the defense shuts down whatever veiled attempt at a comeback the Dallas Cowboys are trying to make.
I won't even get that deep into a matchup until it's there. So I won't. I want to get past the 49ers right now, and that matchup scares me. And I know Cowboys Nation is just all about who we got in the second round.
See, I'll talk all the shit because I don't care, because it has zero bearing on what's going to happen on these games.
Akron coming in.
Whatever.
Akron, same thing. Tomato, Ramapo. 8.5. So 8.5 for Akron. So if you want to go play that's a freebie, ladies and gentlemen. Gooch, do you want to save what we wanted to save for tomorrow?
Yeah.
I was gonna say this has gone on long enough. We've talked about the playoffs. Tomorrow we'll get into the NFL draft. We'll also give our awards for the Chop Awards. I don't know, the Choppies. What do you want to call them? Do you like the Choppies? Like the Grammys? Like the Choppies?
No, we'll think about this.
Okay, we'll think about the award name.
No way I'm going to just
maybe we'll name him after Anthony. The Anthony Awards, based off his second day of work here at Chop Sports. So anyway, we broke down some NFL games. We'll do it again on Friday. We'll make our official picks on Friday. Obviously, if we kind of tipped off where we're going, that could change. The spreads change every day, so maybe our opinions change as well. So that'll probably do it. That'll wrap it up for today.
We just do a little lean. We did a little.
Yeah, we did a lean Tuesday.
Kyle, don't sue us. We stole the name.
Lean light. I like that. Lean light. All right. But in any event, so we covered some NFL, we covered the national championship game, and then we'll just rock and roll tomorrow with the top 10 NFL draft picks. We'll talk about team needs. We'll talk about the fact that the Jets and the Giants represent 40% of the top 10, which is ridiculous if you think about it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles with their the extra picks that they have acquired from Seattle and Chicago. There's different things going on right now as far as the NFL coaching search because of the guys that got fired yesterday. I know I do want to not discredit my brother. Came in, said Brian Flores is interviewing for the Bears job. Nice little spot for him.
So is Hackett.
And actually so is Dan Quinn. So they do have Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. That's the only reason why I brought him up. But they do have guys lined up already. I'm curious. Again, my thoughts and condolences to the New York Giants fan base, as yesterday Gettleman retired, yay, but Judge stays, boo, right? And then that means Daniel Jones is probably back, boo. Throwback Thursday when Dina was openly against her own boyfriend, winning 11,000. I got on Dina's case, Kyle. I got on her case. I said, if I, and that's why I openly said that if the if the Raiders, I said, Dina, if the Raiders tie, Kyle wins $11,000 and you get into the playoffs. That's the both worlds. No, I want to win. I want to I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So
you are literally.
So basically.
And then her excuse was, he makes plenty of money. I'm like, $11,000.
Ready?
Go ahead.
At that point, they were not playing to tie anymore. I knew some shit was going to happen and we were going to freaking lose. I didn't want to lose.
No. They had the ball. They had the ball and they were running it out.
Basically, what you're rooting for is like, I want to lose to Cincinnati and not the Chiefs.
So all that might be buy you a week's worth of joy, knowing that you have a game to play, and then you lose again. But you say you'll take it. But then poor Kyle with $11,000 on the line. You were like, I don't care about your stupid bet. I want to win the game. Kyle's back on. Did you read the article about him being homeless once upon a time? He's going to go back to being homeless now. You see what you did? Oh,
Kyle, we'll put you up in the studio.
Yeah, we got a couch, bro. We're good. We just need a shower here, and I'll probably live here too, to be honest with you. I'm here enough. Anyway, and Sam Grasso coming in. He likes Creighton tonight. So there's a lot of gambling.
I think Sam and Toast are dating now. They've been going at it in the comments for quite a while. And
if you want to, talk to each other, slide into each other's DMs or whatever. Oh, shout out to Toast. Thanks for the invite, bro. I might actually venture out to Vegas. You get that invite, right?
Is that a joke, Dave? Are you actually doing this on air? I feel very offended. No, I don't feel offended, Toast, at all. But I will go to your wedding
as my +1.
And no, I'm gonna need a +1 because Ash is definitely gonna want to go.
I'm gonna try to get out. I'll bring my brother as a +1. We'll get out to Vegas. It is draft weekend. Like,
it's
what a
draft
way
weekend.
to get married on draft
I feel like
weekend.
it would be a good time.
Oh my God,
Ash,
it'd be a great time.
Even if I don't go to the wedding, me and Ash will probably go.
So you're just gonna go to Vegas? Oh, for the draft?
Yeah.
Even if I don't go I'll get you a gift, Toast.
I'm not going to see Daniel Tosh.
Oh, why? You don't like Tosh?
No, I don't.
He must have been salivating last night. He hates Nick Saban.
I don't dislike Daniel
Hates Nick
Tosh.
Saban.
I just don't. It's like, all right, the first couple seasons were good. It's like, all right already.
Actually, his stand-up is what I like more than his
right
show.
already.
Yeah. Oh man. I can't. All right, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Scoop's going. By the way, he's going to Vegas as well. Scoop, you got to get your ass back to the studio to record a podcast before you start talking about going to Vegas. In any event, that has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily. We hope you guys enjoyed. And of course, if you guys are watching this, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate that. Hit the like button. Turn on the notifications so you guys don't miss any of the shows. Not that you don't know when we're on. We're on every day, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock. Will that ever change? Maybe. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge. But we get a lot of traction on the 11 o'clock hour. And then people coming in like somebody just came in like, hey, good morning or afternoon, fellas. And I'm like, oh, the show's over. But you can go back and rewind and watch it, and we appreciate you anyway. ChopSportsMedia.com.
Wow.
For all that.
So James Rube. So just so we could touch back up on the Draymond situation.
There you go.
He's an active member of the non-paid out.
We couldn't get out of here without this. That is a $2,800 ticket, which is apparently chump change compared to what Rube has pulled in the last 2 weeks when he won his. What did he win?
So happy for Rube.
I am so happy.
Like $250,000.
$250,000 on DraftKings. Like,
good for
are
Rube,
you out
man.
of your
I'm
mind?
I love seeing the stories like that because it lets me know that there's a chance for us over here at Chop Sports.
And Rube, if you want to buy into the company, you are more than welcome to do that as well. We will make you official partners.
I will give you a golden microphone for your booty.
So, Rube, we missed your podcast too, by the way. I liked hoops. I did. That was one of my favorite podcasts. He just got busy learning how to win $250,000. That's what he got busy with. So congratulations, bro. You're the man. But anyway, so for Sturch and Gooch, and of course, Dina, the Pick Bitch Simpson on producer, and of course, Anthony, the new intern sitting in on the show. He's probably second guessing life right now. Wondering, I don't know about this. Like, I'll just text him later.
Bro, as far as internships go, this is the shit.
He's going to walk out of here.
He just got a college credit to sit
right.
here and watch.
He's going to walk out of here today like, dude, if I get to do this for the next couple months, like, shit, that'll be great. Have some fun. All right. Thank you guys for checking out the show, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.